going to be discussing raging out in Clash. And what that's going to entail is we're just going to talk to you about what town hall we are, how we got started playing the game. We're going to talk about the update that just got released, what's happening in our clan, a couple things on how to run a good clan, and of course, we always have, some people that just make you wonder sometimes. So we're going to discuss a couple different things. But right now, we're going to, I guess, get started with what town hall we are. SK, would you like to start off?
Okay, yes, sure. So yeah, I am new Town Hall 13. I was a max Town Hall 12, so I was happy that after the update hit, I had actually something to do, other than managing the clan. So I guess we should clarify that we both have leadership positions in the clan. So you and I are actively involved in looking after the clan, making sure that people, particularly new joiners, I guess follow how our clan runs. And it's not, we're not special, but we have our own kind of we kind of like we know what we like. Yeah, we know how we want our clan to sort of perform and evolve and grow and things like that. So.
Right. So you're a new Town Hall 13, and I thought, what a better time for me to go to New Town Hall as well. So I am a new Town Hall 12, and I maxed out my Town Hall 11 before hitting Town Hall 12 as well. And
yeah, can I just say though that you maxed out Town Hall 11 in a lot shorter period than I did, because you're like these young folk that have it easy, and have these builder potions, these books, these hammers, whereas I did the tough grind. I guess I started playing like years ago, back when wars had just started. So making back when I was Town Hall 7 and you had to go and attack with dragons, your dragon army would take like more than 2 hours to make one attack. So, and you couldn't queue another queue. You had to actually use the army and then start queuing again. So yeah, you took a lot of shortcuts, so you're catching up on me. But yeah, so
that you started playing when it first came out, so about 7 years or so.
I didn't play straight off from the start. Just I think very early on when war started, so we didn't always just have wars. That's the thing, There was a period of time when there was no clan wars at all. So, well, I didn't play then, clearly.
I can't even imagine what it would have been like that then, because I mean, for me right now, everything is about warring. So
yes, me, I guess we should clarify we're a war clan.
Yeah,
we.
And I've only actually been playing just over 2 years, about 2 years and 2 months. So.
Toddler.
And you had mentioned with the potions and the books, and I mean, being a new Town Hall 12 already, and I maxed out every single Town Hall, and I think just managed the potions and the books and everything well enough that I was able to max out so quickly, and
yeah.
Now
including heroes.
Town Hall 12 now, and used all my medals and books and stuff, and gonna have to save more.
Yeah. So I guess we should probably say a little bit about what our clan is like. We're a war clan. We are not pros at attacking or anything. We don't, start counting tiles, although I know that some people do. But we like to win. Fairly, just by our own kind of skill level, and we like to win, but we don't spend like days upon days just, practicing attacks and things like that. We do have lives outside of Clash, so I mean, we like to win. I don't know what kind of level you think in terms of competitiveness we are then. I don't know. We like to play the game, we like to win. But it's still a game. Yeah, so
I think we're a relaxed competitive. We're not
kind of like a opposite thing, isn't it? So which is so yeah, I mean we're a level 15 clan, so we're not clearly not doing too bad. So and I've been in every single one of those wars, getting up to level 15, so and we're kinda small to medium sized.
Yeah. We usually fluctuate around 25 people? 25 people?
Yes. So we I guess kinda like to we have mixed wars. We range from title 7 to title soon to be title 13. But we like mixed wars because I think they're just more interesting sometimes. And plus, I think you have to have people that are able to grow within the clan.
Right.
So, I guess that's one of the things that we kind of agreed that we're not going to be an all Town Hall 11 or all Town Hall 12 top tier kind of clan. We kind of like to get the younger town halls in and see how they do. Primarily because I believe that if that's their only account, let's caveat it for that. If that's their only account and it's like quite a young town hall, then you can still sort of influence them or coach them to be, to be good players. Yeah. So, and I don't know about you, but people start getting a bit, their egos and all that start getting a little bit big once they start progressing across the town hall. So there's always people that join that have a sense of entitlement because look at them, they're a town hall 10 or something like that. Whereas I think, I can't be doing that. I just after so long, it's like no. But I mean, I don't know about you if that's something you see happening as well.
Oh, definitely. I definitely see that. And even the way that people, when they come into the clan, the way they talk as well, like you can tell that they've either, got another town hall or it's a big one or, and it's just with, what we ask of them in simple questions, just even when they enter the clan, it's like, okay, I know this person, just from a little bit of attitude or whatever, as soon as they enter, right away. This guy, even if they are a Town Hall 7 or a Town Hall 8, that guy's got another one.
Yes. So, and that is, I guess when they took away global, you couldn't screen them out. You have to actually screen them out in chat now. So, but yeah, you can always tell. Well, after so long, because we've been, recruiting for so long, you do get a gut feeling in terms of whether this one's going to be a good one. General ones, we don't go to the extent of we instantly decline people that have like fancy characters or fancy fonts, and we do decline people that make pictures that are inappropriate though out of characters. So, but we don't. It does make me laugh though. Some people that clearly have tried to call themselves an awesome name but then they spell it wrong. And you're like, oh. And then you're like, is it that? So did they do that on purpose? Or, But because then it's annoying, because then when you're writing and you're talking to them in chat, your spell checker's always going to try and fix it. It really annoys me. And I'm like, oh, spell it right. Spend the gems and spell it right. But yeah, so. And we're an international clan. So we had. I was quite impressed that we had a promotion recently from someone that was not in this, Americas or in Europe. I was like quite happy that that happened because we worked the time zones when we war, and there's a perception that I guess people in the non sort of Europe states, Canada kind of areas, they don't tend to mesh well with our clan, but it's good that he or she has managed to work with the different time zone. He goes to work when, I don't know, war's about to end, or when I'm going to sleep, or when you're just waking up or something like that. But you make it work, and a lot of that is about communication.
I was just going to say, I think the important thing that makes that, or is able to make that work, is the fact that that person communicates well. And I mean, any kind of communication from anybody is helpful when trying to do things in the clan.
Yeah, because we don't use a third party thing.
Yes.
Which is just stupid. Right. I don't, using that a third party thing is not stupid. What I'm saying is stupid is that Clash doesn't allow you to sort of have more ways to communicate with people in your clan. Like, I would love to have another chat tab with just the elders, and then another chat tab with just the co's, or elders and co's, and then just the co's. Because then, you can manage your clan more efficiently that way, and I think that is why a lot of people have these third party apps, because they have to have these conversations. But then Clash as well always said, we can't do that because there's plenty. We won't do it because there's plenty of other third party apps that supply that. And you're like, well, and it's a bit like global now, isn't it? Because then they're like, oh, but you can go to the Reddit forums, or you can go to wherever just to get new players. But then when they got it, I just don't. The game should stay in the game. And that's my view anyway. I don't like. It's a game. It's not gonna. Don't think about it that much that I need to go and have another app just to play the game more efficiently.
Right.
Right. So those are my thoughts anyway. So
one of the things that is forcing people to go outside of the game and use the forums and the other things is one of the things in the new update, the recruiting system
the
that
labels.
They put in place of global chat. In the beginning, the recruiting system was pretty much crap. Every person that you tried to invite was either already in a clan, or their inbox was full, and it was just impossible to get anybody into the clan. So for the first 3 weeks, we were holding pretty low on not pretty low, but I mean we were below our average number of members, because it was just so impossible to recruit. And
even when they joined, there's no telling when they join. And I'm sorry, but I gotta sleep. You gotta sleep. we have lives, okay? And then, as a clan that's not very like talking about day-to-day life and chatty to that extent, our chat doesn't scroll like insanely fast. We talk when there's conversation to be had, or when there's more to be had. But we don't socialize on there as much as I guess some other clans. So when they join, when people in the past, when we've been inviting them, when we do it in global, we know that that person's online, and they either join or they don't. And I know that I'm going to be online, in the near future, should they join. But then with this new update, when you invite someone, you don't know if maybe they've logged off for the day, they've gone to bed, they've gone to work, gone to school. And then, they come home and we've all gone to bed, gone to work, gone to school. And they join and there's nobody there. And then they're like, well, this is a dead clan, I'll just leave. Or worse, they stay, but they don't get, the introduction as to how a clan works and, making sure that they're inducted in properly, shall we say. And so you'd come and you'd come back online and you check your clan and you're like, who are these people? And then, they've already done so many things that are not so great and that we don't personally like to have in our clan. But then they're not online, so you can't even get to talk to them, and it's just that was one of the problems I thought, and I didn't like it. Another element is the labels are completely inappropriate for what we need it to be. And it's been repeated a lot of times all over in the forums and everywhere else that those labels are crap. It's you can be a newbie yet a teacher and a veteran. Or the worst one is you can be active daily, but you don't have, you're looking at the profile and they don't have any attacks. They don't even have a league shield in the profile. And you're like, well, how can they be on daily if they're not? I mean, sure, you can be on daily but not attack, but you look at their base and it's like completely dead. So the labels are not appropriate, I think, is an issue. There's you read in the forums that people want to use things like their achievements, filter by their achievements in their profile, which I think is alright, but you take them with a pinch of salt, I think. But yeah, so I still have issues with the recruiting system. It's like someone switched a switch recently. I don't know if it was one of those minor patches, but suddenly there's just this influx of recruits that have come in, and I think we've hit 50 this weekend.
We hit 50 a couple times this weekend, and I mean it could be a couple things. I mean, we've put one tag in our clan now that we didn't have before, and we, there was an update that came out, and so maybe that had something to do with it. But yeah, we have. I mean, I know myself just inviting close to 50 people a day just because now there's that many available.
Just that you can.
Their inboxes aren't full, and they're not in clans anymore. It seems like the filtering has gotten a little bit better. I still, for myself, I would rather have an option to be able to filter out the town halls, because I really don't want town hall 12. I don't want 11. Because,
you've been recruiting some 10s that have been mighty questionable. Let's just say.
But I mean, I would rather be recruiting the 7s and the 8s and the 9s. So it would be nice to have a filter in there to get rid of all the other ones above that.
I would like a filter whereby I don't invite someone who's already joined the clan or that has left or I have kicked. That's my fear now with all this, lots of people joining. There's so many now that you can't keep track, and you come at a risk where you're like, have I invited that person before? I don't know, because at one point you were just trying to get an invite out at anyone, because of checking their inboxes.
Right, but a lot of people, it's funny because a lot of people, because I know that I've invited a couple people a second time again, and they'll come back and I'll, say my little spiel, and I'll be like, read the clan description. They're like, yeah, I have, I have my stuff now. And it's
Yes.
just like,
You're
what do you mean
like,
you have stuff now? And it's just like,
how do
well,
you know we
I've
need
been out
stuff?
before, and that's awesome. So it's like, okay, you've been here before, see ya.
But then,
Helpful.
but like, so just today, that guy who I kicked earlier on, he had left of his own free will, so someone must have invited him again, and he came back. And I'm like, what? And he came back and still did nothing. So I was like, well, let's just kick you again this time, so you can't come back. But I would like there to be some sort of blacklist that, because I'm sure whoever we kick or they leave would not want to be invited back by us. So there's.
I mean, even if that was just something that could be an option for a leader to do, because I mean, if you give that option to co-leaders and all the elders, I mean, you're going to have clans that are just, purposely getting rid of people and possibly being ignorant like that. Whereas if you leave it to the leader of the clan to sort something like that out, I would like to see something like that where, at least somebody can say, okay, we've kicked you, you can't ever request again.
Yeah. I mean, some people might not want that, but for our purposes, we do not accept people coming back after we kick them. So, but yeah, I just the labels. I put the War Clan label on. I don't think that any of the other ones are appropriate, because what is the point of having an international label on when actually your clan bio says international? Right? So I'm just like, well, what's the point? So I think the labels can be improved. So, but yeah, so other than that, do you like the update?
Well, for me, not a lot of. I mean, new town hall level for me because I'm a 12 now. But I mean, honestly, I haven't even really looked at all that town hall 13 stuff. I've been so excited about my own upgrade that I haven't, looked at all the patch notes and what exactly came out. I know that there's, 2 new defenses or 1 new defense, but you get 2 of them, the scatter shot. I know there's.
But you get the troop. But you get to unlock the troop.
Do I? I don't think I do.
You do.
Do I? Oh, well, that'll be new then.
So
I didn't think I did.
You get to unlock the Yeti. Because I was wondering, should I start upgrading that before I went to 13? But then I didn't, because I remember all the time whenever there's a new troop, it's either really, really overpowered or really, really not. So, and I was like, no, let's wait until the Iron Knight the Kings first, I think. But also because it used Elixir, and I was like, And
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so.
But I guess when Town Hall 12 dropped, 11's got to unlock the Ice Golem.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that they did the same thing for Town Hall 13.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm not, like, I watched a little bit of the Town Hall 12 Cup, and then they had, like, a Town Hall 13 thing after that, and I watched the Yetis, and a lot of the people that were playing, they were still using the regular troops because they, the ones that got an extra level and stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
and that's exactly, we see that all the time, right? We see that in a lot of new Town Hall 8s. Ones that have been 10 Hall 7s, using dragons, know how to use them, and then as soon as they hit 8, they're like, oh, the pick is better than dragon. And a level 1 P.E.K.K.A. is not going to be effective against a level 2 dragon. Do you not remember that conversation I had with a recruit that was like, oh, but I have P.E.K.K.A.s now? And I was like, the P.E.K.K.A.'s not going to do anything You know, it is not as good as a level 2 dragon. It's a level 2 dragon. and then he's like, no, my P.E.K.K.A could, you know, defeat the dragon. And I'm like,
no, that's the rage spell.
oh, don't even get started on that, you know. So it was just. We'll talk about that in the other segment. But yeah, so he was like, it's just so confusing. Like, so you're saying that in a 1-to-1 battle, a P.E.K.K.A would be a level 2 dragon? And he was like, yeah. And I'm like, you know that the P.E.K.K.A can't hit up, right? And the dragon can hit down. And then he left after that. But you do get people, as soon as they hit in the town hall, they suddenly think that the level 1 new troop is going to be so much better than whatever their, you know, maxed out troop is for the previous level. And to some extent, yeah, but no. You know, you need to put them into the research first, I think. I don't think, for example, I don't think a level 1 Yeti is going to be better than, let's say, I don't know what, a level 5 P.E.K.K.A, for example. I don't know. I've not played around with it, but I never really think that level 1 troops are worth much until they get upgraded. So, you know, it's just. My barracks finished, so I actually have them now.
I saw that. I saw that.
They finished today, so not used them.
And what do you think of the new siege barracks?
That I do like, and I can understand why they did that, as in, because every other one, you know, people were using the wall wrecker or the stone slammer. Nobody really uses the blink, but everyone was using ones that sort of get you to the town hall. I mean, the stone slammer doesn't go to the town hall, but it opens up the walls to allow you to get to the town hall. Whereas I like that the siege barracks you still use. There was nothing that, like, before siege machines came out, you would always just drop your town hall, your CC, right, at the edge. So when they released the siege machines, everyone stopped doing that. It was always the siege machine moves, because it's a machine. Duh. But, you know, it moves across the base. So it's nice that they sort of got back to basics a little, and you just drop the siege machine first or last, but on the edge. But what I will say that I really do like it is, you know, I told you this, but I don't need CC troops anymore. I get a max P.E.K.K.A coming out, right? And I can use that in every raid and not, you know, I mean, sure, the CC comes, but then, like, you have to wait ages for your CC troops to come out as well, because there's P.E.K.K.As, and then the wizards, and then your CC troops. So your CC troops come out for, you know, there's a delay, which is why you probably don't want, like, giants or golems in your CC anymore, because there's nothing, you know, it's the last one out. But, and this is something that sort of I was thinking about just today, but that siege machine in particular, when you think about it, you get one P.E.K.K.A, and I think was it a maximum? I can't remember right now. I think the maximum level once you've upgraded it, you get like 10 wizards after that. So the P.E.K.K.A's 25. The wizards are 4. You get 10 and then that's 40. That's 65 extra troop space. And then you've got your CC, which is like whatever, 40 or yeah, it's 40.
45.
But
45,
can you imagine what 65 extra troop space? That's like a whole nother army camp. A little bit like a whole nother army camp. I can't remember. How much do you get in one army camp? I can't remember now. 80?
I think I've got 280 now. So
yeah, so
just under an army camp.
So that's almost like another army camp right? And one of the first things you do when you've got like a new town hall is upgrading your army cats because you get more troops. So that's quite, I think, that's quite like I think that can make or break attacks. 65 extra troop space. It's a whole mini army right there.
Yeah.
So
and especially if you're using that to funnel down one side, if you've got that P.E.K.K.A. with wizards coming out behind it to clear, and then say you've got your own P.E.K.K.A. and wizards coming out after that P.E.K.K.A., like that's two P.E.K.K.A.s going, say, on the outside to clear trash where you've got your troops going to be staying in the middle because that whole side's been funneled. So that's
can
65.
I imagine pushing will be a lot easier because you can nearly always get percentage. I'm finding, I mean, granted, not everyone's built all their extra stuff yet, but actually, there's only like what 2 other buildings. The 2 new, is it 2? Do you get 2 of that scatter shots?
Yeah. And then I think you get a couple bombs and stuff.
But they're not buildings; they don't count. No. So, but when you think about it, from what I've used it on ones that don't have those 2 extra buildings, I nearly always get percent. So pushing is just getting a little bit easier now because you've got 65 extra troop space. Well, that's with a max siege machine. No. Right. But
pushing's just gotten easier since they introduced the new Legends League. In general, it's gotten easier.
Yes. So I have a question for you. Then. So do you think it's worth it to upgrade the siege machine? What's it called? The siege barracks. Because what does it do? You just get extra wizards. Now, in my head, right, so they don't all come at once, so that, yes, you get extra wizards, but it takes longer to come out.
But if it takes damage as well, and it like if the barracks dies before all the wizards come out, the rest of them don't come out. So it all depends on where you're placing it and how it's part of your attack, I guess.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking, like, I have to wait for an extra, however, 2, 4 extra wizards to come out. I'm like,
well, that's where I'm saying, like, if you're gonna have it, say, on the, like, if you're hitting a base and you can see, okay, that whole side, if you throw a P.E.K.K.A. down that side with the wizards, it can be funneled. So if in that case, you would want the wizards, the extra wizards behind the P.E.K.K.A. and then another P.E.K.K.A. and whatever in your CC coming out behind it. You would want the extra wizards in that case.
I guess I'm thinking more about the time aspect. I'm thinking more about the time aspect because I'm getting patient. I'm like, hurry up and let out my troops. Instead of these wizards coming out one by one, I'm like, hurry up! I want the troops that someone gave me.
It's like any other siege machine, though. You can open it early.
But if you open it early, you don't get the wizards.
Well.
So what's the point of upgrading it then, huh?
Gotta be patient.
Yeah, right. There's no point really to put it as an upgrade priority, unless you really want those extra couple of wizards to come out. So, whereas all the other siege machines, it was noticeably better each level. So, because it's still 30 seconds, I think. Is it still 30 seconds? Hang on. Is everything I just say is a lie?
The hit points on the machine, on the siege barracks would also go up. So, I mean, it would not be destroyed as soon. But yeah.
Maybe everything I said was a lie. Let me actually look that up. Because then maybe they take the same amount of time to come out, so they must come out faster. That I would understand. Let me check.
Oh, maybe. That could be.
If it takes longer to come out, then I'm not upgrading it yet.
I can't believe, I'm just looking here. I cannot believe that I get the Yeti. I didn't even notice that.
See,
I was going to be doing all
pay attention.
My first, and here I can do a Yeti.
I pay attention.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Well, it says on the notes that the lifetime is 30 seconds. So they must come out faster.
Okay.
Okay. Because, if the time it takes for the thing to pop out is the same, and there's more that has to come out, they must come out faster, right? Okay. Okay, then maybe I would upgrade it, but not right now. But for you, so you are now 10 or 12, and you like to be organised. I see that you upgrade things differently to me. So, what is your plan?
How so?
Well, when I talked to you about 10 or 13, you were like, you're going to book your lab, right? And I'm like, no. And you're like, why? You need it for war. And I'm like, because there's so much other stuff that provides more value right now.
See, I agree and I disagree. And I mean, obviously, army camps would have been, something to prioritize. But for me, that extra level, and I mean, I guess for me, it's because I, haven't opted out of war. I'm still in war. So that extra, because I finished my lab right away, I was able to do my pekkas, to do my loons, to do my lava hounds, and get that extra level where I know what the difference is.
Did you do all those troops?
What?
Did you do all those troops already?
Maybe.
Good
so
grief.
for me, there was more value in that because I pay attention to the attacks that are going on in the clan. I watch things online, and I can see the difference. I can see the difference that level of troop makes when hitting, a harder base. So for me, that was more important than having that extra 5 troop space because I know with that extra level, I know because of the way I, place my troops and attack, I know that extra level is going to give me more value than 1 extra troop.
But I knew I was gonna be out of war, right? So I don't need the extra levels because I'm just farming. So I don't need the extra levels right away. So
right.
And then I get to the same point as you do when my lab finishes. I can knock out those upgrades just like that, but I'm still not going to be in war because the stupid warden takes elixir. So.
And see, for me, I, again, just being a robot and
competitive person
and whatnot, like, it's
But you don't use all the troops at once. You've upgraded all those things, but you're not going to use them all.
No, but the lava hounds and the loons, I know that those 2 troops go with Queen Charge Lalo. So I've got that army now that I can comfortably do because I have the troop levels. I know that the upgraded Max P.E.K.K.A now, I can do P.E.K.K.A Bobat. I can do P.E.K.K.A Smash because that P.E.K.K.A is the important, is the key player in both of those attacks. So just in doing those 3 troops, I've given myself 3 armies that I'm now available to attack.
But you had them anyway.
What?
You had them anyway. You were doing alright against 10 or 12 in the first place.
I know what their potential is at that, higher level from Town Hall 11, and just having that extra level now makes me more confident in the attack. Having 1 extra troop or 1 extra loon that the army camp would provide me, I'm not going to be much more confident with that. But when you've got, 26 loons in your army with that extra level, that's going to do more damage than 1 extra troop at a level below. And that was why I did my lab.
I don't know. I'm not going to do the maths. But for me, it wasn't worth it at 10 or 13. I knew I was going to be out for war for a while, so I can be patient.
Well, for you too, a lot of the new levels of the troops it was mostly air stuff.
Yeah. There's hogs, bowlers as well, yeah. I think. I use
I mean, you use a lot of bowlers, but a lot of the other troops you didn't use. So I mean, so I could see for you, that would
I
make
might
more
use
sense.
them. You don't know. But, okay, so what are you having your builders on? Because, again, I notice you don't follow the same path that I would have chosen.
Right now, I've got in my lab, I've got my dragons going. Because if I unlock things like wizards and ice golems, those are just random things that, might go into an army. But I've got dragons in my lab right now because that, too, will open up a whole nother army for me. That'll open up dragons,
You say that, but you can still use these combinations. You still have those troops.
Right, but that extra level is going to do more for me than one extra troop. So I've got my dragons in the lab. I finished my free spell. I've got my jump spell, I think, going in. Or I did my jump spell.
What are your builders?
I maxed my bat spell, my free spell, and I don't have much. I've got a lot of dark stuff left in my lab. So I've got one army camp going right now because it is important to get that extra troop space, but like I said, for me, my lab was more important. I've got one army camp going. I ended up getting all the new stuff.
And you wanted to war, so that's why you didn't upgrade your warden. Let's just...
I have my warden, my king, and my queen all down right now.
Okay, but remember, okay, so you're 10 or 11, so you never had siege machines. Siege machines uses elixir, doesn't it?
To upgrade it, it uses elixir, yes.
So, no, when you build it, doesn't it take...
It takes gold.
Something uses... Something had...
From the siege machine, it takes gold. So what I did was I built all my new stuff, the Tesla, the 2 air bombs, the 2 spring traps, and the 1 giant bomb. I built all that. I built my
But you didn't upgrade your warden.
I am, right now. My warden, right now, I upgraded my town hall to 2, and right now it's going to 3, because I had it all under a builder potion. I had my heroes under a builder potion, so I put my heroes down right after I did my two attacks and more. Put all my heroes down, my warden, my king, and my queen.
Because you used the rune.
What?
Because you used the rune, I'm assuming.
I used a dark rune, I think. For the heroes, I farmed enough elixir to get my warden down. After I put my army camp down, I farmed enough elixir to put my warden down. I put all 3 heroes down, and I threw 9 builder potions on them. So now, they will be ready for me for this coming up war. I don't have to miss a war. And I can do that for the next 5 upgrades.
Mm. So, I'm glad you're upgrading your town hall.
Yes, because it's an important defense.
Yeah.
That Gigabomb, it'll make or break some attacks if people aren't ready for it.
Yep. But there's so much. Yeah, no. I think it's the right thing to do your town hall. And again, that's like another thing that you didn't have before at Town Hall 11. And once again, can I just say, isn't that great that you have 6 builders at Town Hall 12? Isn't that nice that you get to choose and have more selection here in terms of what you can build in one go?
And I'm upgrading, just back to that, I'm upgrading one of my gold storage as well. Because I figure I'm going to do all my gold storages first, just because it uses elixir. And then as soon as that's all done, then all my elixir can start going towards getting my siege machine, like my other siege machines, and focusing on the ward. Because then nothing else. The barracks, for me, the barracks will probably be the last thing I do, just because right now I'm focusing on, raiding enough resources for my heroes, so I want all of those barracks working so it doesn't slow it down. And for me right now, honestly, I have no desire whatsoever to use the Yeti. So I'm not even looking at it.
But if you upgrade your barracks, then they do something else as well, won't they?
But upgrading the barracks will also add more war weight because I'm opening that offense. So for me, it's just not worth it.
That's not an offensive unit.
What?
The barracks, they don't count as offense.
When you unlock the next troop, I'm pretty sure that it adds war weight because you're unlocking the new offense. I'm pretty sure it is.
I don't know. Haven't thought about that. But yeah, so I might not be in war for a while, and I've forgotten everything. And I actually don't know how to attack in Town Hall 13. So that's fun. But I'm doing alright. I've got enough medals to keep me going for a good while. And I'm not gonna use my runes until... Because, unlike you, I am stingy. So I'm not gonna use my runes until it's like the higher levels, where I need a full storage to do anything. So...
Right.
But...
Well, the way I see it, I mean, I don't need to be using them, but I've purchased the gold pass for this season, and so I had one, and I don't want to get the gems for that one, so I mean I have to use it, otherwise it's just going to go to waste.
Yeah, but you got time. I've got time. I'm planning on using it. I'm not going to waste mine. I'm planning to, I'm good I think in the long run.
And I did think about that because I do have my storages that I have to upgrade. So before I use this next one, I will make sure that all of my storages are upgraded so I have that extra little bit that I do get. But it was because, I had the builders. I, thought, okay, I can get both my heroes down because I did, I booked a couple troops because I had the books. I did the hammers on a couple troops. It's like, okay, now I still have all this DE, and rather than, be maxed and still raiding and upgrading something else, it's like, okay, let's put these heroes down, and it just made sense to do all three because why not?
So, back to managing clans and all that, right? I read in chat recently someone's planning on going on to Town Hall 11.
Yes.
What do you think about that? So, let's just, set the scene. He is a max Town Hall 10.
We actually have two max Town Hall 10s that are thinking about Town Hall 11. I think the one that should be going to Town Hall 11 is not going to Town Hall 11, and the one that shouldn't be going to Town Hall 11 is going to Town Hall 11.
So why do you think he shouldn't be going to Town Hall 11?
Why he shouldn't be
if
going
he
to
is completely maxed? So we get a lot of people that are like, oh, I'm maxed, oh... And when they say max, they mean their defenses are max and nothing else.
Right. No, these two are completely maxed, heroes and everything. I mean, it's a personal preference. I've always said, when you're ready, you'll know and go. But for me, I don't think he's done with Town Hall 10 because when he joined the clan, he struggled. I don't know if he was just getting back into the game, but the army that he was using, I think he just has trouble reading a base and how the troops path along the base. And so I think he was just struggling to find an army. He reminds me of some other guy that would always, find an army online and, I'm going to use this one, and then, use that one and fail at it miserably.
This is the osmosis of watching a YouTube video and thinking you can do the same instantly. Yeah. But okay, so I guess that's the difference between us, as in you and I, who have managed a clan for so long, who have done so many wars, and because we have a general, we have a war general, we know the impact of what other people in the clan and how they perform affects the overall outcome of a war. Right?
Absolutely. And that's just where it comes down to the two Town Hall 10s that are thinking about going to Town Hall 11. the one, I know if he's in war, I know that, he's thinking about his attacks. I know that he's going to come out with something, that fits the base. He's going to use the right army and whatnot. This other one, it's just like, he's trying so many things, and this one attack that he's on right now, he's trying to make it work. And I mean, even just this last, war that we had, the only reason he was successful on the base that he hit was because it was the lower Town Hall 10 with, Town Hall 9 air defenses. And it was just, I said to him, I don't know if he, was getting the value of what he thought he was dropping with his spells and stuff. And it was just, and I mean, for him to not even know the answer, it was just like, okay, like in war now, I've got to be worried because is he going to use this attack on this base that is definitely not going to work? And it's just,
Yeah, but he's not in a leadership position. He doesn't
no.
arrange wars. He is completely maxed. Walls and everything, heroes, everything. So, you can understand why he would want to, because he doesn't need to think about war. Do you know? He has people that can cover for him. But that is, I guess, where we struggle a lot with people, because we get people that are like, I'm going to my next town hall, and they think that that's going to solve their problems because they get an extra level of troop.
That's just what I'm saying. Well, that's just what I was going to say. I don't know. I think there are still some basics. Not so much basics, but just things that he needs to learn about how the troops move and the way that the troops move.
But not everyone's like a robot like you.
The way he wants to go. I think there's still things that would benefit him staying at Town Hall 10. And I mean, it's just going to get worse at Town Hall 11 when you've got another hero that you've got to watch now, and and then getting the timing down on that, and still getting the funnel, and having to worry about an eagle dropping down on you.
But again, he's not thinking about that.
No, he's not.
He knows he has cover.
I mean, I think to some point he might still be thinking about that, because he's been maxed for quite a while, and so is the other one. So I think to some extent he might be thinking, am I actually ready to go? Like, because if he wasn't thinking about it, I think he would have gone already, because he's been maxed for quite a while.
Yeah.
So I think
but he doesn't play as much, as in, he plays it as a game. He's not as, perhaps, let's say, enthusiastic as you are, shall we say. So, he doesn't... The time that he has to spend on it is probably not the same as you and I. So... But how do you then deal with that scenario whereby you want him to consider that, but not to the point where you just insult him that he's not ready? Because we've had a lot of people that they ask for your opinion, you give them your opinion, and then they leave, so that the next time you see them in a day, they've booked their town hall.
I think with this particular person, I think that if he thinks that he's ready, I don't know if I could get 100% behind it, but I have to trust that he knows, what he's doing as well. And my hope would be that if he gets in a position where it gets to be, oh my God, what's going on, that he asks for help.
Yeah, he does. You've seen recently that unfortunately, he keeps on asking for a friendly challenge when the other Town Hall 10 is not online.
Yeah. So. And I mean, it's always going to be tough like that. I mean, even myself as an 11, I mean, you as a 12 were the only one that could challenge, because, we've always been a little bit shorter up at the top. So it's been difficult. And I mean, it's not going to get any easier, because, him going to 11, he's going to be the only 11. So.
Yeah. But I mean, one of the ways that we always say is, have they tried pushing? Particularly for the lower tide halls, it helps them to sort of face more difficult opponents. But also when stars matter, then, you know, it's important to get to town hall, to know how to get to the town hall. I'm sorry, and then just like a diversion here, but in the past few days, and the amount of recruits that are showing replays with no wall breakers or jumps or earthquakes is astounding. And I'm like, watching their troops die as they bash on walls. That is my own personal bugbear. Okay, why are you bashing your head against a wall? That's what I'm thinking. When you could just blow it up, jump over it. Why do you insist on bashing your head against the wall? I don't care that the P.E.K.K.A. can slice through it in 5 hits or something like that. The P.E.K.K.A. will be like half its life by the time it's gone through that wall. You know, it's just like, oh, I was just despair every time that happens. There's just things that when they happen, I have to say, why do you not see that half your troops are dead? But it just annoys me. But you know, I did get abused today, so that's, you know, me got my quota. Did you see this morning?
I don't think I did.
Oh yeah. So things are back to normal. Oh, but yeah, no, because it's because you have a little bit more, you like to chat with them, whereas I'm like, okay, here's what you need to do. And I'm a bit more like, let's not waste either of our time if you're not wanting to debate. Whereas
don't get me wrong, there are people that join, and it's one of those things where, like I said, right away you can kind of tell what this person's going to be like if you have to be like, you know, explaining every single little thing to them, or if it's just like, you know what, you're annoying me already, this is what you need to do, you've got 6 hours to do it.
Yeah, but you start with the nice.
Because I think...
Because you're so young.
Because we're different in the way we think about things sometimes, but I think that some people do need extra attention, and just to kind of get them in, I think they need that little bit of, you know, okay, this clan might actually, you know, want me here.
Yeah, so I used to be like that. But after a while, you know, I don't even know how many recruits have passed through.
Well, and like I said, it's not like that with everybody, because like I said, there are people that come in and it's attitude right away, or you ask them to do something 3 times and they still don't reply to you. It's like, okay, I'm not doing this anymore with you. This is what you need. This is when I need it. And if you don't do it, I'm going to kick you. And then if they request right away or do whatever right away, and it's just like, really? You don't even want to listen? And it's just, you know, there are people, and it's just, I don't do that with. It's just, you know, and it all depends what kind of mood I'm in when I'm online too, because if I'm not doing anything, and I mean, especially now because I've been raiding and whatnot, I just let other people do it. But I mean, if when I wasn't raiding, I had the time to do it. So
yeah, no.
For me.
But then I'm like watching you, and I'm like, just tell them because they're gonna leave, or just tell them, like, because it's just a cleaner way, you know. If you're joining a clan, you must want to join a clan and want, you know, if I were joining a clan, and this was probably just me and being old and being, you know, whatever, but if I were to join a clan, I would be like eager to be like in the clan. Do you know what I mean? I would be like, okay, I'm a new person.
But
I need
not
to.
Everybody's like that, and I mean,
exactly. I think it's a generation thing.
Like that. Good evidence of that is when people join, don't even say hello and request right away, and think that we're a request and leave clan. Like, it's like some people, they don't
the amount of people that don't read the clan description.
And it's like, oh look, this person invited me, I can get some troops.
Oh yeah, I noticed there's a new phase of people that are like, I was invited, and I'm like, yeah, gets you in the door. You know, I'm like, you were invited because the stupid global thing was removed and the recruitment thing sucks. You know, just because you're invited doesn't mean you're automatically, you know, king or queen for the day. You know, there's a, it's just, you know, if I were invited. So yeah, I do think it's a, you know, difference between, because I like to play the game and I'm quite, you know, I'm not at school anymore. I generally want to get along with people. I generally read what clan I'm getting into. Because there are some crazy clans out there that are not like. For all you know, you could be entering a clan where it's just they just abuse each other day in and day out or something like that. But it clearly states in the clan description this is what happens. You know, but then people don't read, they just join. But then I'm like, why didn't you read that? You know, why wouldn't you, like, for all it could say in the clan description is, as soon as you request, all you're going to get is wall breakers. That's all we ever give out. You know? You know, we only ever donate wall breakers. That's the kind of clan you could be getting into, but no, you just accept, but, you know.
I actually gave somebody wall breakers today.
I give you grief for wall breakers. There's an unspoken rule whereby you do not donate wall breakers and goblins unless requested.
I was discussing with the guy, you know, about what army he should use because he was wanting to know, you know, to get his stuff done. And I was like, you want to request loot because that's what's going to go good with dragons. So he requested, and it was anything. And I said, aren't you going to request for something specific because you're using dragons? He's like, no, anything will work. I'm like, really? Anything will work? He's like, yeah, just give me anything. So I gave him wall breakers. And he's like, well, that'll be good. You know, that'll help me with my king. And I'm thinking, okay. And, you know, he was just being a smart ass. And he's like, and then after I filled up the rest with wall breakers, and then threw in a couple goblins, he's like, okay, yeah, I'll request loons next time. Like,
yeah.
Just stupid.
See, unspoken rule, no wall breakers, no goblins unless specified. So, although...
He deserved them. That's why I gave them to him.
Yes, just like I gave the other guy who was like, give me... What did he give me? Gave me something that I did not request for because he said, oh, I just wanted to get my donations in. And then I knew he was going to request because clearly he wanted to get his donations in so he could request himself. So I was like, I know he's going to request in. And he did. And I gave him enough goblins so he couldn't get the troops he wanted. And then he was like, isn't it annoying when someone fills your CC where you don't want the troops?
I think I actually remember
and then he
that
left because, you know.
I think I remember that because I came on and I'm like, oh, you got to get rid of the goblins that you've got in there. You can't fit that troop. I think I remember that.
I stayed online specifically waiting for him to request because I knew he was going to request. Like, because quite literally, 2 seconds before, he gave me the wrong troops. So, yeah, it's just annoying that. And now there's a lot of people that are, because of the big influx of people coming in, they're not, and don't read the clan description, and don't ask in chat what's what, and, you know, how does your clan work. There's a lot of people just hitting up straight donations to people that shouldn't be donating or requesting, and it's hard to manage that. So I've resorted to, you know, if you're requested, not spoken anything, you're just gonna get kicked. So
it's kind of an unwritten thing for me. Like, if you join the clan and you don't even say hello and request right away, it's like, no. Because you're here for one thing and one thing only. You're not interested in, you know, anything to do with the clan. You just want troops. So go to a request and leave clan. Like, get out of here.
That is the number number one thing, the number one piece of advice that I would give anyone who joins a new clan is don't join a new clan if you are not going to be able to stay online for the next 5-10 minutes. If you're rushing to get out the door, don't join the clan and then think to yourself, you'll speak to them later. Because that is so annoying. They join and then they go offline. Like, why? Why? So that annoys me a lot. Because then there's no guarantee as to, I'm going to be online to tell you the stuff. There's things that, for us as a clan, for how we function, we want to war. We want to be, we want to win our wars. We have certain things that need to be laid out in advance because they need to know whether that's the clan for them or not. We're not going to fit everyone's needs. So I'm talking for like an hour now.
Mm-hmm.
And I suggested we should always have a segment called You Can't Fix Stupid, but You Can Fix Rushed. Yeah, the figure of that is because I like to recruit people. Well, I don't like to, but I don't mind recruiting people that are Town Hall 8s or Town Hall 7s that are slightly rushed. Because as long as they have the troops, because I think that they're still early enough on in their game that they can fix that really quickly, particularly with books and hammers and potions and all that. They can fix that really quickly. Maybe not to the extent when you're 10 Hall 9. I think 10 Hall 9, that's when it starts to get tricky because then there's however many levels of heroes to do, so many, defenses to do, research to do. I don't think it's as easy to fix the rushed ones there.
Right. For me, though, I think for me, it's more like, okay, this person was lazy, didn't want to do it. What exactly are we going to do that's going to change them to not be like that?
Well, I still think you can fix rushed. I think
absolutely you can fix rush. I just think that the people that do rush are doing it for a reason to get to that end game a lot quicker, and they don't care about how they get there. And for me, I don't want to waste my time on someone like that unless they're in the clan and actively saying, yes, I want to fix this. Okay, what can I do to if it's just some random Joe Blow and he doesn't give a crap, it's just like, no, I'm not going to waste my time on you.
Yeah, well, you gotta get them in the door first. So that's why I'm more lenient, I guess, shall we say, in terms of, I'll invite this guy even though, he has maybe a few defences that are not quite up to par and things like that. But we're getting distracted. The reason why, so I think you can fix people bases that are rushed, but I do not think you can fix people that are stupid. Well, stupid maybe is probably not as nice a word to say, but there's just some characters that you cannot change, some personalities or thinking, how people think. You can't really change. There's certain people whereby you can't reason with them, or you can't understand why they think the way that they do, and even though you've shown them that they're wrong, they still insist they're right. So, do you have an example of that? Because I think
well, I mean, the example that we're both thinking of is that guy that thought that his rage spell alone could kill a CC dragon.
Oh yes, I handled that one. That was fun. Because he was using all hogs, like all hogs in his army. No wizards, nothing. And he was a 10 all 8, wasn't he? So he doesn't even have a queen for anything. And he was showing me his replay, and then I was saying, what if a dragon comes out to CC? You'd be toast, right? You'd be making bacon. And then he was like, oh, yeah, I guess. But I had a rage. And I'm like, rage? And then I'm like, yeah, that would have done it. I was like, you think the rage would have killed the dragon? And he was like, yeah. I'm like, are you sure? Because, no. And he didn't have a rage anyway. He had 2 heals. So he didn't even have a rage. But I don't think you can sort of, if the person doesn't understand the game to that extent, then that I am too impatient to sort of help them that much, because then you have to help them that much on everything else. So there's to some extent you're willing to help them, to guide them, to say, oh, did you think about this or that or this? But some of their replies are just like, no, I don't have the will to sort of help you because it's too much.
That can go back to as well, where we'll get a Town Hall 7 in the clan where they're getting snippy because they don't want to do this that we've asked of them, but they've got a Town Hall 11. So then they show you a replay and it's just this spam of hogs all over or spam of dragons with no coordination whatsoever, and they fail. And they can't understand why they fail. And it's just like...
But then you try and help them.
How can you be a Town Hall 11 or a Town Hall 10 or a Town Hall 12 or whatever the heck you are and not know a basic funnel?
No, but I mean, there are people like that. And I accept that. But the thing that drives me, that just like makes me shake my head, is when you try and help them and they go, but I have a Town Hall 11, you don't need to tell me these things. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, clearly you do, because you just fell flat on your face. And like that guy that was like, you should be really more helpful. And I'm like, but you just told me you have a Town Hall 12 in a competitive clan. Surely you know, having been through Town Hall 8 already, how to use a Town Hall 8 army. So, it's... Unless that Town Hall 12, he attacks really bad in that one too. Or unless he's thinking, I'll get good at Town Hall 12. I don't need to be good at Town Hall 8. I don't know. But then, yeah, he was giving us grief for not helping him. After he told us he had multiple accounts that were of a higher level. And at that point, you're like, what? I don't know what to say to that. Yeah, so we like to help people, don't get us wrong. But,
I will always help somebody if they're willing to learn.
It has to work both sides.
My patience gets tried when it's somebody that is extra special and needs extra special attention. I've kind of been trying to pawn those off on other members, and because
at least you try to pawn them off. I'm like, Zeph, that was yours.
Because right now I'm starting to see what you're saying more so, and the getting frustrated and not always like, I don't have the patience for this. So now it's like, and I remember how eager I was in the beginning, and oh yeah, I'll do it. I'll show this person around. I'll take them by the hand and do whatever. And now it's just like, I've kind of done enough of that,
There's only so many times you can say, drop a dragon here, and a dragon on this side, and then on the other side, and then wait before deploying the rest of the other dragons.
Well, and then even too, I mean, we've got a lot of good lower attackers in the clan. So, and I mean, we're usually in a war, or we've just finished a war, so it's like, go watch this person's replay from last war. And all they have to do is click on a bloody replay and watch how they deploy the troops. And then it's like, and then they'll come out and they'll be like, okay, I watched it. And then they'll come out and it's like something totally not even close to what that person did. It's just like, well, what did you watch?
This is why you can't fix it. but you have to want to help yourself. You can't be spoon fed. Our clan is not like that. You have to have your own wanting to be better. So yeah. But okay, so we should probably start having a wee rant, but it's just we can next time we can talk about people. But I've lost count how many times people cuss us out, leave. They cuss us out, telling us our clan is awful, your rules are awful, how you work are awful, you're just bad attackers, what have you. And then they leave, obviously, because, they've cussed us out. But, so you check on them, and they've made a clan, and they're using the exact same rules and, how they run the clan to how we are. And I'm like, really? So you can't even cope in a clan that's already doing that, but that's the clan you want. So, I've had someone who has verbatim copied our clan description. So I was like, oh, what the heck?
I've got one that's saved that was pretty darn close to what we had, and even the most recent one that left and started his own clan, I know that a lot of what he's doing in his clan was exactly what we were doing, and why did he leave? Because he didn't like the way things were being done. And it's just like, well, okay, what are you doing now?
I don't know.
It's just
So
but that we can discuss another time. I think we've kind of rambled on and discussed a lot today. So